Good morning, Form 1, and welcome. Hope you're all well and ready to do this lesson. Last week, we spoke about sexual attraction being a natural feeling. It prepares you for the marriage relationship. Okay? So that feeling of sexual attraction is not meant to be acted upon now, but when you get married, not until you get married. Okay? Right. So today we're going to look at some waiting experiences that can be very difficult and they require discipline and patience. Think of some of those experiences. Maybe your exam results, marriage, waiting to make certain decisions that you cannot make right now, etc. Okay? So you will follow in your text as I read. Abstinence, a positive choice. As Catholic Christians, we believe that the only appropriate sexual choice outside of marriage is abstinence, the avoidance of all intimate sexual activity. In a society that promotes casual sexual activity by anyone at any time, abstinence sounds like a big no, but it's really a positive choice. It's the best way to say yes to God's plan for new life. The Church does not preach abstinence out of fear or hatred of sex. On the contrary, we believe that our sexuality is a powerful and beautiful gift. It is worthy of respect and lifelong commitment. And when we look around our world and see the consequences of inappropriate sexual activity, abstinence makes good common sense. So we are not saying that abstinence means avoiding sexual activity forever. It simply means waiting until the right time. So when is that right time? When you become an adult? Or when you're dating? When you're attracted to someone? No, none of those are the right time. The right time is when you get married. I repeat that. The right time to act on that attraction is when you get married. All right, so let's continue by reading A Deadly Risk. The cost of inappropriate sexual activity is clear. Sexually transmitted diseases, or as we call them today, sexually transmitted infections, contagious diseases spread through sexual contact, hurt millions of people, including young teens, every year. Some STDs can be treated and cured, others are not curable, and the body does not develop immunities to STDs, so they can be contracted over and over again. The only way to be absolutely safe from any STD is to be in control of your own behavior. Okay, so AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome, is a deadly inability to fight disease. The HIV virus responsible for AIDS is most often spread through sexual contact with an infected person. It can also be spread through the use of contaminated needles from injecting drugs. You cannot tell by looking whether a person is carrying the HIV virus in his or her blood. You can't catch HIV or AIDS from everyday contact with an infected person or from touching the things he or she has touched. There is no cure for AIDS at this time. Other STDs can also do terrible damage. Syphilis causes damage to the eyes and to the brain. Gonorrhea, if untreated, can cause permanent damage to the reproductive system. Genital warts transmitted through sexual contact are caused by the same viruses that cause cancer of the genital organs. Genital herpes is an incurable virus disease that causes blister-like sores. A number of other infections are caused by sexually transmitted organism called chlamydia. In addition to the pain and suffering that sexually transmitted diseases cause to the victims, there is the risk of harm to children born to infected patients. Tragically, some STDs make it impossible to ever have children. Besides the risk to physical health, sexual activity outside of marriage has other serious consequences. One of the most obvious consequences is pregnancy. Having children and raising them is difficult enough in a strong marriage. Unmarried parents, especially teenagers, face almost impossible obstacles. There are emotional consequences too. Premature sexual activity comes without commitment, which means that one or both partners are bound to be hurt when the relationship ends. Sexual activity outside of marriage is often a way to use people, not a sign of love and faithfulness. That's a denial of God's love, which is sinful. Okay, so you just learned about a lot of sexually transmitted diseases that are transmitted through sexual contact. We're not doing this to scare you, but just to inform you that it is a reality and it is out there, and that is one of the best reasons to say no to sexual activity before marriage. Right? Another good reason to say no to any sexual activity before marriage. Now, there are moral reasons why we should wait. Our sexuality is a powerful and beautiful gift from God. Therefore, it is worthy of respect and lifelong commitment. Then there are some practical reasons, like all the STDs you heard about, and for most of them there is no cure. And then, of course, there is pregnancy. Then there's also emotional consequences. One or both partners can be hurt when the breakup comes. Premature sexual activity comes without commitment. Therefore, sexual activity outside of marriage is often a way to use people, not a sign of love and faithfulness. All right, so don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If they are trying to convince you that it's a sign of love, it is not. It's simply a way of using you. Okay, and your body is not meant to be used in that way. Okay. We'll continue reading. The real answer. Society and the media may say that the answer to all of these consequences is to practice so-called safe sex. But that's no answer. There is no way to protect yourself 100% of the time from disease or pregnancy, from hurt or rejection. The full expression of sexuality belongs within marriage, where the partners don't need to protect themselves from each other. If problems occur, they can face them together. The real answer to living a life of positive abstinence is the virtue of chastity. This virtue, which is also a skill, helps people express love according to God's plan. Within marriage, chastity means the full and faithful expression of sexual love. Outside of marriage, chastity helps us channel our feelings of love and attraction into appropriate expressions of friendship and service. Living chastely is the best way to say thank you for God's gift of sexuality. Okay, so society is saying that safe sex is the answer to the consequences that come with sexual activity. But that isn't true. Practicing safe sex using contraceptives and condoms and so on cannot protect you from the hurt and rejection that comes with a breakup. Okay? So that is not the answer at all. The answer is chastity, which we can also call saved sex, right? Sex saved for marriage. That is the only safe way. practicing the virtue of chastity. All right? All right, so let us read the We Catholics Believe section. The Church teaches that the full expression of sexual love is reserved for marriage. The married couple makes a public vow to love, honor, and be faithful. Abstinence from sexual activity outside of marriage shows love and respect for ourselves, for others, and for God's gift of sexuality. The virtues of chastity and modesty help people live this respect. Okay, Form 1, would just like to inform you that next week we will have a quiz. I know you look forward to these quizzes. So next week there will be a quiz, and we will bring our lesson to an end now. So until next week, goodbye.